Welcome to Not Ashamed. I'm your host, Ashley Nordman, and thank you so much for being here today. I'm with my guest, Jenn Tegethoff, and we're excited to dive in and talk all things life and family. She is a mom of 6 kids.
Not on purpose.
And also a boss bitch that literally works her ass off. So I have many things that we could talk about today that I think all of you are really going to love hearing because you're a huge inspiration. So Thanks for being here, Jenn.
Thank you. Yeah, and I say that lightly, not on purpose. So my husband, Sean, and I, we have 6 kids. We have a beautiful blended family. I have 3 and he has 3, and they range from the ages of 21 to 8.
You're literally the Brady Bunch, the modern day Brady Bunch.
And we have an Aunt Judith that lives with us too.
No way.
Yeah, so
oh my gosh.
We are the Brady Bunch. Yeah.
You are the 2024 version of the Brady Bunch.
Now, 2 of them are at college, so technically we only have 4, like 9 months out of the year. But
Still.
I'm still micromanaging them from 3 hours away.
6 humans to keep alive. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's not as chaotic as it sounds. Actually, they really all get along like super well. We're really fortunate, but I'm not gonna lie, it's something that we work on every single day.
I'm certain you do.
Yeah.
And you juggle it so well, like you wouldn't even know.
Well,
no, you do though. From an outside, you're probably your own worst critic, but for me, it's like, girl, that don't even faze you. Like nothing stops you.
Well, I'm very, very lucky because I not only have a husband that's super supportive of my career, but he's just a really great dad. Like he is hands-on. I think last night he was running back and forth to practices for, about 4.5 hours.
Wow.
And I take a back seat sometimes because my kids are the older 3. So they're 21, almost 20, and then 15. And then my stepkids are 13 tomorrow and 11 and then 8. So with his kids, my stepkids, I'm there when he needs me, but I also am really careful. I don't want to overstep my boundaries. I have this incredible opportunity to have this amazing, unique relationship with them. And a lot of that is because of Sean and then his Aunt Judith that helps us so much.
Wow. So did it take a long time to figure out this system with having stepkids and things like that?
Yes and no. I think Sean and I are so much alike. We're very on the same page with our parenting style. Mm-hmm. Although he probably wishes I was a little bit stronger with my boys. I'm just still oh, they're my babies, But he's really great to step in, when I kind of need to back off a little bit and vice versa. But every day is a learning experience, and we definitely don't have all the answers, but I do think we've done a really good job of somewhat perfecting it. I'm proud of what we've done.
Yeah. That's a big undertaking. And the fact that you're sitting here right now calm and well,
that's because my house is quiet right now, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's at school.
True.
So now catch me at 5 o'clock and no, I'm just kidding.
It's a whole nother story. You're throwing a sandwich at the one going out the door, driving someone somewhere.
I think that's the biggest thing. We have learned to not sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
We really try to put a lot of responsibility onto the kids. Trust me, I love making a school lunch, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to make something that no one's going to eat all day. And if they just want to eat a thing of Pringles for lunch, they're going to eat Pringles. I'm not going to sit here and fight and be you've got to eat your carrots and you've got to eat your grapes.
Pick your battles. Yeah.
All day long, pick your battles. And
I love that.
They get to kind of become their own person too.
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys have a really structured life with a big schedule and things that you follow with having so many kids?
Sean is way more organized than I am. Way more organized.
I could see that.
I am a little bit more fly by the seat of my pants. Actually, we just got back from Mexico. It's funny, it was my national sales meeting, and I like him to come along on all my work trips.
And it's Sean. He's so fun.
He's
of course
so fun.
He's going with you.
And everyone loves him. And he's a girl. He loves to gossip. He knows all the tea.
I love him.
So, we just got back from Mexico, and he drives me insane when we travel because he gets this anxiety, and I'm bro, you gotta chill. Like, I do this for a living. I know how to check into a hotel. Yes, I have my passport. Stop asking me.
He probably prints it all out, like an itinerary.
Oh my gosh. And then he's just like, you're not gonna have time to go to the bathroom. You gotta get in line. And I'm like, it's Southwest. It's gonna take us 97 minutes to board this plane.
Yeah,
like,
literally. We have plenty of time, honey.
But I'm like, bro, you need to chill. Like, so yeah, we're so much alike, but then sometimes we're so different. But I'm very grateful that he is so organized.
Yeah.
Oh, he's very organized. Like, even with like our titles for like our cars and stuff, like he knows where all of our paperwork is at all times.
See, I don't even know where
Correct.
where mine is, so
I have no idea.
we all need a Sean in our life.
Yeah, I'm like, title to my car?
Yeah.
I have one? No clue.
How did you guys meet anyway?
I've known Sean since I was 9 years old. He was best friends with both my brothers, who are 4 years older than me and then 7 years older than me. So he was always like this little like mystical, funny heartthrob. But if you ask him that question, he's always like, I'm sorry, but I do not remember a 9-year-old. And he's like, your brothers did a really good job of keeping you a secret, because he's like, I do not remember like their little sister like running around. But yeah, we met up like later in life, and we kept our relationship private from my family, because I just knew that if it didn't work out, they were literally going to like disown me.
Seriously?
Oh yeah,
Because they loved him so much?
Love Sean. They love Sean.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah.
love how he was so impressionable on you, and he's like, I don't even remember who you were.
He's full of shit.
He is so full of shit.
He remembers who I was.
Yes, he
does. No, yeah, I mean, it was just a little match made in heaven. So.
That is the cutest story. You've known him literally almost your whole life.
Yeah.
Like 40 years.
Yeah, and he still aggravates me like on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So
You guys like have this like friendship relationship that's like so admirable. That's honestly probably why you guys can make 6 kids in one roof, like work just fine, because you have just this great relationship like that builds the foundation to everything. Like
it sounds so cheesy and corny, but like we really are best friends.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll give him trouble, like if I'm trying to tell him something and he doesn't take my side of it. I'm always like, I thought you were my best friend. Like you're supposed to be agreeing with me on this, like not telling me that like I'm wrong, you know? And he's like, I am your best friend, like, but you're annoying.
Well, and best friends are gonna say the truth to your face.
You're right.
I just read this quote the other day and I sent it to my friend, and it was like, your best friends will talk shit to your face.
Yeah.
And stand up for you behind your back.
It's so crazy you say that, because I was married before, and I mean, we just did not have like a friendship.
Yeah.
And I felt like he never stuck up for me.
Yes.
And listen,
that eats you alive.
Yeah, and I'm strong, I'm boastful, I'm tall, but like
I'm tall.
when I have this like 6'6" man now like standing up for me, I'm like, yeah.
It's just like,
That's
it's
right.
It builds your inner confidence because you feel important.
Yeah.
Like you're important to them.
He's always got my back.
Yes.
He's like my biggest cheerleader. He sends me like little inspirational texts like every morning.
Stop.
Yeah. He's a good one.
He is a good one. Like I remember when I met him a couple years ago and I was just like, man, you two just have the best banter. Are your kids like that? Are they silly like that too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is a clown town around here. It is Goofy City, but again, like we say this all the time, like we don't let the kids like snitch on each other. Like we don't do any of that. We're like, that's your sister, that's your brother. You stick up for them at all times. Like snitches end up in ditches. Or like if they try to come tell us something, we're like, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. We're like, nope, not having it. Like figure it out.
I like that. I'm taking notes in my head of how I'm going to raise my daughter because I love this stuff.
Now, I will say this is hilarious. So my daughter is 15, right? Rolling through high school, super fast. I can be a pretty reactive person. I'm a strong personality. I can run this house. My mood will determine what kind of mood everybody else is in until I meet her face to face. And I'm scared shitless of her.
Of your daughter?
Oh my God. Like she'll just say something and I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, it's like, I didn't mean to say that. And then she always comes back and apologizes and everything's fine.
Are any of your kids like a lot like you?
Yes and no. So my oldest son definitely has like kind of like this shithead, you know, mentality that I had like growing up, but he's also like a goody goody. My middle son is just like a little piece of pie.
Aww.
Yeah, I'll probably never like fully accept like his wife if he gets married someday.
Like secretly hate her a little bit. Like that's mine.
I'd be like, you better treat him good. No. So like my JoJo, but and then Brooke, I mean, I don't know where that one came from. She is like so stupid intelligent, like stupid smart. She's everything that like I always wanted to be. She's athletic because I never did sports. And my stepkids are all like really unique too. Like I always tell Harper she's going to be so great in sales. She loves history. I've never liked history.
No.
Like, oh my God, I don't even think I've ever even read a book.
I never took it serious. I just thought it didn't matter. And I'm like, that is such an immature way of looking at history.
Yeah.
Like, history is so important. I'm like, I don't want to learn about the war.
No, not at all. But she loves history. She shares that with her dad. And
Aw.
Georgia, oh my gosh, Georgia. We joke around. We always say she could aggravate Jesus Christ. But there's something about Georgia. Like her and I just get each other. I mean, we just get each other. So I love it. And then Patrick, I mean, you know, his feet they don't touch the ground, and he's hilarious. He's like a little Sean.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he's got charisma and
Yes.
very powerful handshake. Like he will stare somebody down in the eyes and shake their hands, and it's just So it's all good. They're all unique, and we love them. Some days, and some days we're like, sayonara.
Yeah, you're like, get out of this house.
Yeah.
So what's like a day in the life for you? I mean, you are a sales rep for a really huge reputable company, Cynosure.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure you're building your own schedule. It's kind of like, okay, whatever you put in is what you get out. So like, do you have a routine? Like what's your daily schedule? Like you're momming and running a business and helping your husband. Like that's a lot.
Yeah. So every day is different, but it is somewhat planned because I do have some travel involved. I cover all of Missouri, all of Kansas, and Iowa. I do have a team, so I have 3 other people that help me like divide and conquer. But yeah, I really try. I always try to be at home on like those important days. Like I try to make it to every meeting up at school. I'm not home every night, but again, having Sean's support and then his Aunt Judith helping us allows me to have this career.
Yeah.
And man, if I could have started this like in my 20s, girl, I'd be retired by now. Like I would not be, slanging these devices at like the age of 45.
Yeah, but I think you had to start late because it made you literally like hit the ground freaking running. Because what you've done in 9 years almost, like normal people, it would take 25. Like you are just a hustler.
Yeah, money is very motivating, right? And this is a super lucrative business. And there's a lot of times that in the company, I'll see like just a young 20-something with like so much charisma and so much talent, but they're out there just acting like yahoos. And I'm like, bro, sis, get your act together. Like you have the world at your fingertips right now. If I could have made money like this when I was in my 20s, holy smokes. Like, but I get it. It's also one of those stories of, and I'm guilty for this, you spend what you make. So sometimes, again, I got Sean to kind of dial me back. To be like, someday you will have to retire. I'm like, no, I'm just going to like lean on one of these kids.
Right. They're going to take care of me, duh.
Yeah. No, but he's really great. Something that him and I have done uniquely, when you get married a second time, a lot of everything's separate. Like you protect everything. And it took us a while to kind of blend, what's mine, what's his.
Yeah.
And so we have done some like investments together. So that's exciting. He's helped me in that way. Sean loves to buy dirt, is what I always say.
Yeah.
So he's really great at just being like, hey, you should take that next commission check and buy a piece of land, or, sit on this for a little bit and maybe something will, come of it. And
he's such a business-minded man.
Oh, yeah.
Like big time. If he's anything like my dad, he's like, they don't make more land, so it's worth investing in. And I'm like, yeah, Dad.
To buy dirt. He loves to buy dirt.
Which makes sense because he's like, I'm literally looking around your house and there's like deer heads and like dead animals everywhere. I'm like, he loves dirt. He loves the outdoors. He loves hunting.
We even decorate the same. So we both have a, unique sense of always like looking like we've been out in the wilderness. He loves to hunt, and he's a man's man. My dad always said that. He's a man's man.
He definitely is a man's man.
Yeah.
So are you working, like, I mean, I'm sure you're like me. I'm a business owner. I'm like always on. I'm sure you are too. Like you're taking 9 p.m. calls. You're writing emails in bed. Like you're up really early. Like I'm sure that's how your life is too. Yeah?
Always. And I think that's what has made me successful. There is a time to turn it off. There is a time to have a work-life balance. But if it seems like I'm always on my phone, I literally am always working. And sometimes I'm not communicating with providers or with clients. Sometimes I'm just like on Instagram and I'm building awareness, or I'm, trying to to build who I am as a professional. So any chance I get, I feel like I'm always dialed into work, but if I need to pull myself away, sometimes I just have to like put things away and try to turn it off. But it's
hard.
Impossible.
It is. And like setting boundaries is huge, but it's also like you can't lie. Like that is the only way to really get ahead, is to work harder and work longer. And so some people don't get that, and they think that there's like some way to like skirt around that, and there really isn't. Like you just have to be putting in a lot of hours, unfortunately. But like you said, you got to know when the timing is right to just say, you know what, right now that needs to wait. I can focus on my kids or focus on whatever is in front of me that's more important in that moment. And it's just like recognizing that versus just trying to like always be on. Because then something else is there's a consequence, to everything. So
you're right. It's always a grind, and the grind can be very rewarding, but so can your family, So it's nice to kind of have some downtime. I know, like I said, we just got back from Mexico, and it was great. But the last night, because we extended our stay, so a national sales meeting, so I'm in meetings like all day. Sean's just being like a lady of leisure, which he deserved it.
Lady of leisure?
He's just like down at the pool,
the margarita, like belly out, like whoop.
Yeah, sending pictures, of like him with like, another cerveza, all this stuff. I'm like, but we extended our stay, and a few other people from the company did as well. And the last night, I mean, we just like went hard, like the whole time we were there.
Yeah.
And the last night we got to the room, and I'm like, man, I am so ready to get home. And he was like, oh my God, so am I. He goes, I actually want to see all the kids, like all 6 of them. Like I can't wait. It was just so funny the way he said it. Because I was like, you're going to.
Yeah, you're going to get
But
that.
I'm like, but before we get home, you're driving me through McDonald's, because I'm like, I need some American McDonald's.
Oh my gosh, really?
Oh,
is that like your guilty pleasure?
Yeah, I just like wanted it so bad. After being like at a week in Mexico, and 2 all-inclusives.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
You want to make McDonald's?
I need some, yes.
I feel like I need some detox tea and some like...
No, I was like, I'm going out hard. I'm going through this drive-through. I'm like, I'm going to rip through some double cheeseburgers.
If I've already put my body through this, it's going through it all.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Yeah, which is so funny to me. I mean, you are like so healthy and you follow this like super strict diet, so that's hilarious. I would have never guessed you would go get McDonald's.
Me and Donald Trump, we eat McDonald's all the time. No, it's you helped me with this. Like when we talk about meeting, can we talk about that story? Do you remember when you came over to our house to help us?
Yes, with your diet?
Nutrition?
Yeah. We
like,
sat in your kitchen over there.
Literally, like we had just cooked up like 2 pounds of bacon. Like the whole house like smelled of bacon.
I remember this.
And then while we're sitting down with her, telling her we want to make these lifestyle changes, like our youngest one like comes to the kitchen and just like pops open a soda.
Yes, I remember exactly that.
He never drinks soda.
Just like chugging a Fanta or something right in front of us. And you're like, I promise, Ashley. Like, this is abnormal.
No, but here was the best question. This was so funny. I'll never forget this. Sean goes, okay, Ashley, I'm in a pinch. I go into a gas station. What do I get? You looked at him dead in the eye and you go, at a gas station? And he was like, yeah, like, what do I get? And you were like, a banana? And he was like... Oh, okay. So like no like beef jerky or anything. Like it was, you were like a banana. I was like, we are going to fail at this miserably.
I remember this whole conversation because this was after I met you in school. This was after we started like working together professionally. And then I remember you reached out because you knew I had been a nutrition coach before I went to school. And so you were like, me and Sean need to get our shit together like bad. Help me with the nutrition plan.
We fell really hard in love and we got fat and super unhealthy. And I was on the road and I saw this like thing and she was fit as a fiddle and I like prepped Sean before you came to the house. I'm like, listen, she's blonde and she has a super tight body. So I'm like, watch where your eyes go. Got it? And he was like, I won't, got it. And
I still have your plans on my computer.
Oh my God, it's so funny. No, it was great. But like along the way, we really uncovered like what works for us. And we were like, man, we're getting older. Like we feel like crap. We got to figure something out. And he actually figured it all out, like just listening through his podcast.
He's the one that did that?
He's the one that figured it all out with carnivore. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember, I mean, you guys, I gave you a nutrition plan. You guys followed it. I knew you had felt a lot better, but it was just very hard for you guys to lose weight, if I remember right. I mean, this was a couple years ago now, so it's kind of coming back to me. But I just remember like it was really hard for you guys to like stick with it, which I think looking back, like your blood sugar was so dysregulated, you're having all these cravings, you know? So then I just remember, I don't even remember how I heard about this. Maybe you talked about it on social media, but you talked about doing carnivore.
Well, I think like you reached out to me and you were like, you guys look so good.
Oh,
like,
yes.
oh my God.
Yes.
And I was like, he started doing it and I was like, I was not for it because I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
Yeah, some
Another
extreme
friggin'
diet thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, it's never going to stick. And what's so funny about the carnivore thing is Sean, being a guy, sometimes, you know, has gas. And with carnivore, it like went away.
Yeah, and that's like an obvious thing. Like, you're not freaking Dutch ovening me anymore in the bed. Like,
He
what?
literally, like, we would joke around. He had like one cute fart a day.
One cute fart a day.
And I was like, oh my God, maybe I need
There's not even one cute fart happening. What's going on?
it was like one a day. It was almost like he felt like he had to do it. It was like so cute. And I was like, okay, maybe I need to start doing this. And
one cute fart a day.
now, I mean, going back to McDonald's, yes, sometimes I fall off the rails and I'm I need McDonald's.
But most of your lifestyle now is carnivore, which is insane. So, yeah, I remember years ago helping you with nutrition. You guys still looked great, but it wasn't, you know, I didn't know the body you guys were used to. Now that I see both of you, I'm like, okay, I get it. Because you've both lost so much inflammation and weight. And I remember, it must have been last year or something. Yeah, it was last year when you guys really dove into this. And I messaged you. I was like, Jen, what are you guys doing? Because obviously I knew you guys had struggled on and off with your diet and stuff. And whatever you guys did, I noticed very quickly because both of you looked 10 years younger, tiny little waist, like both of you so quickly.
Literally, it brought like my waistline back. Like I mean, and I truly owe it all to him. He brought this to me and I thought, I was like, great, another Joe Rogan thing. Like, here we go.
And I love Joe Rogan.
I know.
But yeah, it's a lot.
So it's just, again, it's something that we've done together and we've been accountability partners. Now, if I could just like ramp up, you know, getting back to like activity and just exercising. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's like, and I think it's part of like, you know, not only who I am, but just being in this industry. It's like, how can I get better? I'm so hard on myself. I'm constantly like trying to like slow down the aging process.
Yeah.
So, you know, we are our own worst critic, but
I get that. 'Cause I'm the same way. And I also think too, like there's a mental piece to it, like working every day to be better, like that builds momentum. So I'm sure for you, it's like, okay, cool. I got the diet dialed in. Like now I need to get the exercise dialed in, and it just feels good to like do hard things. Because the more hard things you do, the more hard things you want to do.
I
and
agree
it just
with that
keeps building.
100%.
Yeah.
Like if you're not challenging yourself and you're not constantly wanting to grow or trying to grow, to me, it's just like a total detriment.
Yeah. It kills your confidence.
Yeah. Just when you think you know everything, you don't.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Yeah. And, you know, it's one of those things too. My son is like interviewing for a big internship this summer. And like all week he's been calling me. And before he even presses send on an email, he just wants my advice. I just think it's so cute. And like the other day I told him, I was like, stop being so nice. Stop being so nice on your emails. Quit telling everyone I hope you have a great week. I'm like, you're trying to get this job in sales. And I'm like, you need to be more matter of fact. And he's like, I don't want to sound rude.
Concise.
Yes.
To the point.
I'm like, just stop with the small talk. Stop beating around
fluff.
the bush.
Yeah. Yes. Beating around the bush. That's my biggest pet peeve. When people do that. I'm like, just tell me how you feel. Like, don't like sugarcoat it. Just go straight to the point.
If she says like, what time do you want to meet? Don't respond back. Anytime's good for me. How about you? Like, I'm like, give her a time.
Yes. Offer a time. 11 a.m. Wednesday at the coffee shop. Yes. See you there.
But
like
it's cute. I like hang up the phone and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm micromanaging him a little bit. But hopefully I'm teaching him something too.
Yeah.
And I mean, you probably learn from like your daughter every day, even though she's what, 2?
Yeah, 2. I learn every day from her.
I know.
Patience and selflessness. And, you know, just like these little things that sometimes you forget.
Like goofiness.
Yeah.
They
and being funny. Yes.
Yeah.
Like life is too short. Like just be silly and like laugh together. Like that's everything for a little kid, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes we get caught up in the seriousness of stuff. And it's like, nope, nothing in life is really that serious. I promise you.
And you know how funny Sean is.
Yes.
This is like one of my favorite stories. It just happened like the last month. But 8-year-old Patrick, I mean, his dad made over and Sean was trying to tell him, you know, you need to lay off the video games. Like that's enough with the video games. Like, you know, when you're at our house, you're outside, you're playing hoops, you're kicking the soccer ball, enough with these video games. And he looked him right in the eye and he goes, you are not the boss of me. And Sean was like trying to give a straight face so bad. And he was like, actually I am. Actually, I am, buddy.
Yeah.
But it was like we both just all started laughing, and then Patrick didn't know if he should like laugh or if he was going to be in trouble by saying that. And Sean just thought it was the greatest thing because
How
he's
old
like,
is he?
He's 8.
Okay, I was
like,
gonna say, isn't he the 8-year-old?
Yeah, but he said it so matter of fact. Like he was like, "You will not be the boss of me," and Sean's like, "Actually, I will be." But it was just so funny because it taught Sean that like he's got to lighten up a little bit too.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like you got to let him play his video games just a little bit.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
it's true.
I'm like, this isn't like 1981 anymore,
Right.
where we're out there just like riding our bikes until
the sun sets.
till the sun sets. Yeah.
What's your advice for a mom that's working, that's trying to juggle motherhood and running a business?
Just be forgiving, like to yourself, and let them be who they are. Like especially girls, let them have their moments. We have 3 girls right in the middle, so we have teenage hormones and periods ripping through our house at the same time. And I have to remind Sean, like, it's okay for them to be emotional. It's okay for them to have a bad day. They'll talk to us when they're ready to talk to us. And I think if you're not forcing communication on them, like, they will organically come to you. And I think the biggest thing is just try not to be reactive. I feel like that has worked really well with our girls especially. And I mean, it's hard, right? So like go back to that, just be forgiving to yourself. We don't have all the answers, and every day is different. Every day is new. And if you mess up, freaking apologize to your kids. Like that is one thing I learned just because I never really got apologies growing up. If I feel like I'm in the wrong, or even if like we don't agree on something, I will always make a point to go back to my kids and be like, you know what? I'm sorry. But at the same time, we say this too. You're not here to be a friend to your child. You are here to be an example. And one of the hardest things we can do is discipline them, right? There's nothing worse than like keeping them at home because they're grounded or whatever the terminology is. But we have found that like when we have structure, that's when we have calmness. So I don't know. Every day is a learning experience, and some days we do it really well, and some days we're like, whew.
That's great insight, though.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think just taking ownership, like when you mess up, like that's huge. And that
Yeah.
means a lot. Because you're right. When you don't get those apologies, or if, mean things are said and they're never recovered, like that's the stuff that really sticks with people. And like we're all imperfect. Like nobody is perfect at all. So you're going to have those moments where you're not maybe your best self. But it's so important to like own it and show your children that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to accept that you did something wrong. Like that's actually so powerful. So
Vulnerability is huge.
huge.
It doesn't show weakness.
No.
And I think when you have that conversation with your kids of just being like, shoot, I messed up. Or I used to love to like drive my kids to school every morning. It was like my favorite thing to do because I would like talk to them about like my forecasts and stuff and like who I was working with. And then I would catch them like asking me. They'd be like, oh, where are you going today? Like, are you driving to Kansas City for the day? Or, oh, what about that doctor? Did they ever end up moving forward? So I don't know, there's little things like that. Like I let them into my life. They let me into theirs.
Yeah.
And things definitely go easier when you can learn to apologize. But being a mom is like my number one job. So I think that's the job I'm probably the best at and most proud of. All this other stuff is just, fluff. But
Yeah.
it's good fluff.
Yeah. And you're a great example for your kids, and it
Aw,
shows.
Thank you. So are you.
Thank
Are
you.
you. I see it
appreciate
every
that.
single day.
Thanks, girl.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for chatting with me today. This was a great conversation.
it was.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, be loud, be proud, and be shameless. Visit us at anskinbeauty.com to shop all of our medical grade skincare.